Once again, this is Robert Ishoy. I'm your host, and we are at the Warrior Healing Center, and this is Cochise Spotlight, where we spotlight veteran-owned businesses in the Cochise County area. Now, you don't see him, but back there, we still got Erik Z, who is my co-host, and he is playing technician right now. Erik, come over, everybody can see you. Yep, he's the man behind the scene.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's me, Erik Z, once again here for Cochise Spotlight. Today is going to be a great show, as always, because Robert is going to be the Inquisitor and taking on another Inquisitor, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be a battle of wits, and the only thing that's going to be clear, well, I guess we'll find out in an hour. So you guys have fun. I'll be in the back texting away, trying to make sure that everybody gets their questions answered. By all means, ask questions, like this video, share this video. Let's get the word out. Let's help veteran-owned businesses, and let's have a good interview.
Thank you, Erik. All right. So today, I've been so excited about this all week. Now, just a little brief summary. Last week, we had our first show ever, and we had Dr. Kirk on, who is the founder and executive director of the Warrior Healing Center, and he gave us a rundown about this brand new program of networking veteran-owned businesses in Cochise County. And we have our first guest this week, and it is Aaron and Victoria. Say hi.
Hello.
And we're going to get to know them a little bit. Now, if I ask you guys any questions that you just feel like you don't want to answer, just say, Robert, let's just move on.
Got it.
And I'm not going to get too personal, but I want to get to know you a little bit. You know, I think what you're doing is incredible. We're going to get into the business too that they're opening. It's brand new. It's going to blow you away. I can't wait you've got to stay tuned to hear about this. So let's start off by just kind of, now you're both veterans, correct? Okay, so we got a veteran couple. You know, that's two veterans for one. Kind of give us a little background of your experiences in the military. Maybe how long you served, what branch, that kind of thing.
Ladies first.
All right, I'll start out. I joined the military when I was 18 years old. That was back in 1993. I served 5 years. I initially wanted to go in and serve as a nurse, but there were no positions. The only position they had in the medical field was a pharmacy technician. I actually didn't want that. I slept on it overnight, and the recruiter said I was crazy to let that go. I went back the next day. It was still available, so I became a pharmacy technician.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you actually went into the service and got a profession that you could do on the outside.
I did.
Yeah. Okay. And
I did not.
you did not.
No, I entered shortly after 9/11, and I wanted to go MI. I was in a stage in my life where I was like, okay, I need to change this. This is what I want to do. I want to go serve my country. I turned 28 the day I graduated basic training, and I just looked around me at all these young pups and things, and it was just, wow, that's it. And 20 years later, here I am, retired to Fort Huachuca. But I entered actually at first I was going to be a SIG ender, but because I was so honest on my clearance application, they said, no, you have too much debt, so you can't have that. So I was denied my top secret. So I said, well, what else have you got for me? Because I'm going to join the military. So you just tell me what you're going to do. And so they offered me the interrogator position, and 20 years later, and went warrant officer halfway through, and never looked back. It's
okay, very
been
good.
a great ride.
We actually have a lot in common.
We do.
not only was I an interrogator. Now I only did 4 years, 82nd, during the Desert Storm era.
Mm-hmm.
But I also came in when I was almost 30.
Oh.
Yeah, I finished college.
You know exactly what I went through.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get a top secret clearance at the time. So, I was looking at other jobs. They're like, nope. Here's one for you. It only requires a secret. I think you can get that one.
So you had to learn a language?
I did. I did Spanish.
Spanish.
Yes.
They sent me for Russian.
Ooh, okay.
I had in college. I had spent some time in Beijing, and I'd studied Chinese, Mandarin Chinese. So I remember standing at DLI for a room inspection, and the battalion. That was a battalion. Battalion XO was walking through doing the room inspections, because it'd be a big deal, right? And he looked at me and he said, "Oh, well, you're a specialist. You came in as a specialist. But you have a degree, right?" I said, "Yeah, I do." It's like, "Well, what is it?" I said, "International Studies." He said, "Oh, well, do you know any languages?" And I said, "Well, I knew Mandarin." He said, "What are you here for?" I said, "Russian." He said, "Well, then that figures." And he turned around and walked away.
That sounds like the Army.
That's exactly what the Army was.
So, well, thank you for sharing that. That's really incredible. Man, I'm surprised we got a lot in common. So now, I think often you retired here, Fort Huachuca. Of course, being in your MOS, that's pretty understandable. And it seems like most people that retire here go right from serving in the military to becoming either a contractor for a government contract company or a government employee.
Sure.
You didn't do that.
I started to. I did start to because when we were doing this, we got looking at what it was going to cost to open up the business, and we were wondering, okay, well, if we're going to fund this business, I'm going to need to make some money to dump into this business. We found other ways to fund it, but I walked away from an $80,000 a year job to put ourselves into huge debt.
That's true.
Yeah.
And one thing I when I was talking to Dr. Kirk last week, I talked about the fact that the one thing I think is really unique with veteran-owned business owners is that they have dedication and innovation. Okay. And you exemplify both of those. Well, I mean, both of you, because you just stated how dedicated you are to opening this business when you could have done something else. Yeah. You could have done something totally comfortable, no risk, easy money. Let's be honest. Everybody out there knows what I'm talking about. If you were, and you said no. Why?
It's just I've seen. I served. I was in the service. I retired. I met my goals. It's time for something new. Not only that. Well, when we got together, we spent way too much time apart. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to spend all of our time in each other's hair.
Yeah, I got a lot of hair.
Yeah. and it's making up for lost time. And it's answering to a better boss, really.
Yeah.
When he was in the service, he was deployed 5 times. Well, 3 times to Iraq, 2 to Afghanistan, and then he did a single trip to South Korea.
Which to me was no deployment.
But for me, I was left alone.
Yeah.
For a year.
Okay, I got to ask you. Okay, because me and my wife, we got our business. Do you guys always see eye to eye on everything?
Oh, sure.
You're lying.
We compromise.
Yeah. I don't believe you at all. Yeah. So,
doesn't everybody?
Yeah, no. Actually, what I find that with me and Jessica, it's kind of good because we are different in a lot of ways, and we actually balance each other out.
Yes.
Do you find that to be true?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that so I had to go back home to Maine to do some family stuff, and I left her in charge because up until then I was dealing with everything, all the renovations and lining up all of the construction that was going on, the sound systems, the beer tap system, which is I'm pretty proud of, by the way. But I was lining everything up, ordering all the equipment for the kitchen and things like that, designing the kitchen. And she'd come in and say, "Can I help? Can I help?" And then I'd be like, "No, I'm okay." And she said, "Hey, I got to go to work." So she would go to work.
Still working.
And then when I left, I said, "Okay, it's on autopilot. Go for it." I come back and she's just like, Wow. It's like,
Yeah.
Well, I took over when he was gone, and then when he tried to step back in, he was like, "Oh, you do have it." Like, yeah.
Yeah. I did, owning your own business, a lot of people, I don't know if they realize it, but I mean, you wear all the hats. I mean, you think of a big corporation, you got a CFO, finance, you got human resources, you've got marketing, and you've got purchasing department. You're all that.
Yeah.
When you start a business, you're all the above.
and the frustrating part with that is that when we're actually in the building, we're starting to get deliveries now. We're starting to get distributors coming in, and salesmen, and bands are coming in, and it's you're getting showing like it took me 3 days to hang a TV.
Okay,
like,
we've teased the audience now because we've mentioned a few things, beer, bands. They're probably going, okay, well, what all right, so let's just go out. What kind of business are you opening?
All right,
so it's a country western dance hall plus a restaurant.
Doc's Watering Hole.
Doc's Watering Hole.
Yeah.
Now, and I watched you guys. They did a cool FM film back. I think it was Monday.
Yep, it was
Monday. So that's the first time I saw anything related to your business, and I was just floored. I watched that, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I drove in, 2 days later, I think it was, where I went in to see you and got to see it firsthand. You let me go inside. There was still a lot of work going on.
Yeah.
But I got to tell the audience, this place is state of the art. I mean, you want to talk about innovation, they've done it all. I mean, it's just
Thank you.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could go on and on, but I'll let you talk about it. But one thing, I mean, this whole network that we've developed with the Warrior Healing Center is to really help promote veteran-owned businesses locally. So, and we need the local support. I mean, we're small business owners and in a small community. So, you rely on repeat customers. We don't have a bunch of tourists flying in all the time.
Yeah.
So, and we support each other. That's the whole purpose of this network. And we support the community at large. Even though we're focusing on veteran-owned businesses, we support all local business, regardless. And we hope that they support us. But one thing you did, I thought was really innovative, is to help support other businesses in town. You've done something very innovative. Tell me about that.
So we're not going to have live music 24 hours a day. We've got something called a digital DJ. It's called Orange Door. We actually found it watching Bar Rescue. That was our research for opening Docs. Is watching Bar Rescue.
That's probably good research.
Yeah. So we found this Orange Door system, and Orange Door allows basically it's a digital DJ. It'll you can program playlists, and it'll play for days, and it'll play the video with the song on one screen. It'll also broadcast on another screen upcoming events, advertisements, or it'll have a ticker tape or something like that. So what we want to do, and we haven't announced it to the veteran group yet, because I wanted to make sure the system was working, and you finally saw it working. So you get to see it. But what we're offering, what we're going to do is offer whenever we have whenever the group sponsors veteran-owned business. I think it's going to be monthly. I think either monthly or weekly. I can't remember. But we'll put a slide up and highlight that business, on our television screens. And we're also going to sell space on there to a limited number of people, because we don't want to inundate our customers with a bunch of ads. We want them to watch the videos. We want them to see what specials we're having coming up. We've got a couple bands coming, so we've got those ads up on that screen already. So right now it just cycles through the two PowerPoint pictures of the bands. So yeah.
Wow. So I looked at that yesterday.
Yeah.
You told me about it. I went straight home and I talked to Jessica about it. And if you agree, we would like to be your first customer.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I mean, what you're offering it's just to me a no-brainer. And all you businesses out there, any local business, veteran-owned, non-veteran-owned, I'm telling you, this is probably one of the smartest marketing tools that you can use at more than reasonable cost. I mean, they're going to be packed. They're going to be packed with people, and you can have your business up on that screen as an ad 7 days a week.
Yeah.
You know?
It flashes for 15 seconds, and it's all part of the cycle. So,
yeah.
There'll probably be 5 or 6 ads, and then we'll have our bands mixed in, and then we'll have our special nights.
Right.
You want to talk about a special night?
So Wednesdays, we want to do wine dancing Wednesdays to really cater to the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Specials on wines, maybe even wine flights. And we're going to have a dance instructor to help us learn how to line dance. So that's going to be one of our fun things to do during the week is wine dancing Wednesdays.
Yeah. I had a coworker today. We were talking about your new business, and the first thing he asked me is, "Are they going to offer line dancing?" I mean, it really was. His first thing I go, "Yes, they are. They're going to have classes. They're going to have professionals come in and teach line." He's like, "Oh man, that's great." So, I mean, people are already really excited about this. Anybody that knows, and we got to get the word out. That's what we're doing right here. We're getting the word out.
Yep.
Do we have some comments? How are we looking there, Eric?
Let's see. We got one who, Brandon SV Helizona Sharp. He wanted to send a flyer for August 27th that he's got going on. Annie Hennequin.
Oh, that's my brother Arnie.
Okay. Arnie, sorry. He said he was proud of his brother and sister-in-law. Great achievement.
Oh.
Thank you, Arnie.
Oh, okay. Oh, we got family listening, huh? Okay. Any questions?
No questions
Okay.
as of yet. People aren't asking questions. Hint.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have some question, but this about this place. Now, I don't want to. You can. This is one of those questions you can tell me. Let's talk about that later. But another coworker, I got to be honest. The first thing he asked me, "How much is going to be a glass of beer?"
Okay, so this is the communication thing.
Yeah.
We have very limited storage, and I personally think canned beer is actually we'll have them decide. Yeah. So canned beer is easier to store and easier to takes up less room than long neck bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Victoria is stuck on bottles. She said we have to have bottles. I'm saying that cans were okay. So.
Wow.
Hey.
Well, that
social media world, which is better.
That's perfect for all of you out there. We need to get some feedback. You want glass bottles? You want cans?
So 12-ounce cans or 12-ounce bottles?
Or does it matter? Which one do you want? So you're for the bottles.
I'm for the bottles, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm for the cans because, cans aren't weapons.
Yeah, that's true.
And
that's true.
Cans you can crush and put in the trash. But anyway,
that's it.
So Jessica wants bottles. I'm being ganged up now.
Oh, really?
That's not fair.
No, Jessica says bottles.
Kathy, that's not fair.
Bottles, 3-to-1 bottles.
Oh boy!
All the women are ganging up.
You're gonna lose this one, I think.
Thank you, ladies.
But anyway, to answer your question, domestic cans. The ones that we have, I think we decided it was going to be right around $5.25 for a 12-ounce can.
Okay.
$5.25, $5.50. I can't remember off the top of my head. We will have Guinness on tap. We've got 12 beer on tap. Guinness is one of them. Modelo Especial is one. Bud Light. Dos Equis Lager.
We have
Blue
an
Moon.
IPA.
Blue Moons are Lagunitas IPA. And we got quite a few craft beers as well. Not many from the local area. We've got Uncle Bear's, their Golden Ale. We'll have that on tap as well. But we've got some regional, like some New Mexican craft beer on tap. We've got some Hawaiian craft beer on tap. We got a cider from Washington State.
Oh, a hard cider.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
those are really good because they're so refreshing.
They are.
I mean, you drink it, you're like, oh, this is, and then you realize, oh, this got a little kick.
That's right, and I mean, and they're gluten free, so so that offers that gluten free option.
That's I think that's probably going to be my drink.
Yeah.
I was in England when I was in the reserves over there doing an exercise, and all the bars there had the apple cider. That was a big deal, and a big old mug of cold hard cider. It was really refreshing. I like that.
Yeah. So
very reasonable cost.
Yes.
Especially for the facility you're going to be drinking it in. I mean, okay, I got this.
Right now we're at 3 bottles to 2 cans with an option for a tap with plastic beer mugs from Hazel. And Arnie asked, is his poison going to be there? Captain and Cranberry.
Of course.
No.
Actually, yes. We just got a bunch of Captain in today.
Really? Okay.
We did.
So, I mean, you got a dance floor. You got bars. You got a balcony with another bar up in the balcony with seating where it's going to be a little quieter than it is downstairs. You got plans for a patio, a huge patio outside, still in construction.
So I'm glad you brought the patio up. So Dan McComber from Antelope Workshop, Woodshop, Antelope Woodshop, Antelope Run Woodshop.
Yes.
Fellow veteran in the veteran-owned business. So we met him through this group, and we bought some Adirondack chairs from him and 2 sets of cornhole boards. So we are going to have cornhole out on the patio once that's made, which should be pretty soon. I mean, they've got all the lumber, so they just need to put it all together.
And see, now, I think I talked about this with Dr. Cook last week a little bit, and we all know the economy's kind of down right now, right? And we hear, you always hear all this stuff in news, national news. And I'm a big believer that it all comes down to our community. And we talked a little bit about last week is every one of us is a big fish in our hometown. My dad used to say it's better to be a big fish in a little pond than a little fish in a big pond.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we all have a major effect on what happens here. So you look just as you as a couple, the impact that you're having. Think about this. You're hiring 40 people.
Yeah.
They're offering 40 new jobs in town. You're buying all these supplies. You're buying from other businesses. That is generating economy. You're doing so much. I don't know if you realize not only what you're offering the community, but you're generating the economy. And it's like a wave,
And you know what? So the other day when we were talking to Todd with Cool FM, we took him out to where the patio was going to be, and we showed him the alley that actually is between this building and our building. And we pointed out all the neighborhood businesses in the area, and mentioned that it's a great spot that if you want to go out for a night out and you don't want to hang out all night dancing, you can go next door and listen to whatever voice he's got playing over at Punchies, or you can go over to Paul's Pub, or you can go down to JR's, or you can stop and have a burger at the Pit Stop Burger trailer. But the best part is that we are all stumbling distance from 4 hotels.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right? So all you folks out there in Sonoyta, or even Tucson, or Tombstone, or Douglas, or any place else, any place that wants to come and come to Sierra Vista and come spend a night out, jumping from bar to bar to bar.
Yes.
And stay locally, and then come out and have some breakfast. Go buy some chocolates.
And so we definitely got to get out. You got to check this place out there. Your first grand opening is
August 5th.
That's
August
next
5th.
Friday, folks. That's a week from tomorrow. We're going to be there. I guarantee you. And I'm going to have my boots on.
Yeah.
I got to say, I got 2 pairs of cowboy boots. One's pretty old. My lizard skins. They've been around the block a few times back when I was younger, and
That's right.
And then I got a pair of boots I bought a few years back in Tombstone, locally. I'm wearing those things next Friday.
Nice.
And I got to tell you, it's amazing. I always think people talk about how you dress can affect how you act and how you behave.
Sure.
And in college, I drove limo. And my roommate would tell me whenever I would put the tuxedo on and put my little hat on as a limo driver, my whole manner would change.
Yeah.
I find that true with cowboy boots.
Yeah.
You know, I got to share this little story. So my 2 older boys, for my first marriage, and I went to visit them. They're teenagers. And I said, I'm going to take you to a Western store and we're going to buy you a pair of cowboy boots. And they like, Dad, we don't wear cowboy boots, They're in sneakers, they're
Sure.
teenage,
Yeah.
And I said, well, let's just go look, So I took them to this store and they each found a pair that they kind of liked. And I said, now put them on. And so they tried them on. And I said, now get up and walk down there and walk back. And immediately they started strutting.
Nice.
Am I right?
Yeah.
I mean, you put on a pair of cowboy boots, or cowgirl boots, either one, and it changes immediately how you walk, how you stand, how you carry yourself.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a pair of cowboy boots, you might want to think about a little investment. You're going to be wearing them often. So I'm excited. I'm really excited just to dress up and go see this place.
And somebody the other days was talking to me and they said they're really excited for us to open because it's finally there's someplace nice for people to get dressed up to and to get dressed up and go out. And I'm thinking, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
We've been asked if we have a dress code. We don't have a dress code. I think that our guests will enforce a dress code just when they show up and how they're dressed, and they're going to set the tone.
Mm-hmm. Well, your building's going to set the tone too. From the outside till you get to the foyer, everything state of the art, classy. Yeah. I mean, this place is beautiful inside. I mean, all the woodwork that you've done, the tiles in the ceiling, the copper stairs. I mean, the whole thing is just it's done so nice, and even the front. The outside, I mean, it's gorgeous, man. It's gorgeous.
Those signs, I'm really proud of how they turned out. I mean, they look really great. The sign on the front of the building, and then what I call the roadside beacon. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So a shout out to Mike at High Desert. Thank you so much. Those signs are gorgeous.
There's another local business that they help by opening their business. I mean, I'm telling you, it's a network. It's a wave. It ripples. And we want a positive wave in this community. We don't want to follow other places in the country that are having a negative wave. So get out, even if you're a little tight on the budget because, the prices are going up. Gas, we all know that, it costs more for gas, costs more for food, costs more for everything. But it costs more for all us business owners too.
Yeah.
One thing you got to remember, local business owners, and I'm talking across the board, not just veterans, their cost is going up, but then sometimes they see their customer base go down because people are kind of tight on money.
Yeah.
So you're getting hit on both sides. So get out, have a good time, spend a little money, which you can afford, and get out of the house and enjoy life, and it'll just help the whole local economy just start rolling again.
Yeah. And I think the world shut down with COVID. I mean there was 2 years there that who knew what we were doing, right? I mean everybody was shut up in their houses. We're finally in the point where we can start coming out of that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm excited to be part of that rebirth. Actually,
Hey, you might even save a marriage or two.
I'm sure we might start something.
Well, I think of it, a lot of couples here, they're like, I won't mention any names, but maybe even people I know personally, like, how come you never take me out? You're talking to their significant other, we'll be politically correct here. It could be any significant other. So you never take me out.
She never takes me out.
See, but where are you going to go? You're like, are we, for a nice night out, are we going to drive all the way up to Tucson? Don't feel like doing that.
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm going to stay home.
Yeah.
And, well, we could go to a movie or we could go out to eat. And we've been everywhere, already.
Yeah.
Many times. So now you got something you can say, okay, date night.
Yeah.
We got a legitimate date night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? And if you've been married for any length of time, you know how critical that is in a marriage. You got to have that, or any partnership.
Yeah, dinner and dancing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you got a date night. So you might just save a few relationships, and like you said, might create some. So, it'd be a great meeting place. So this is exciting. And we got lots of time. You've got to check this place out next Friday, and not just next Friday. When we're grand openings are great, but it's that continuous support that we're looking for. Okay, if you go every week or every month or whatever, but that continuous supporting of what they've done is just incredible. The huge investment, like I said, not just in money, but in time and hard work. I mean, just looking at what they've built, I'm like, oh my gosh, this had to be a huge effort on both their parts, just to put all this together. Like I said, you're wearing so many hats, hiring all these employees, doing the human resource thing, all the finances. You're basically an accountant, the purchasing, figuring out all the cost of items and everything,
and figuring out what inventory is going to sell. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we know what we would prefer. So when I was ordering all the beer for the 12 taps, all of the kegs, I came up with a list and I sent it to Victoria and our manager, and immediately Victoria says, "Where's my IPA?" I can't stand IPAs.
You show me a unique liquor setup. Explain that. On the bar, you had the little samples.
Flights. We're going to offer flights. So there's different brands of drugs. So take, for instance, Jim Beam. They have different types of Jim Beam. They have apple, they have vanilla, they have peach, they have orange, they have regular. I don't want to pay $15.99 to try a full bottle. Why don't I just pay to try a flight? So I can pick 4. Say I'm not too partial with vanilla, but I like the fruit flavors. I can try 4 of those in a ½ ounce glass and see if I really like them. So
a flight is a word for a sample.
So it's 4 separate liquors, ½ ounce servings. It equals to 2 ounces of liquor, on the flight. But it's a sampling of all of the different brands and different styles. So we'll have the top shelf, the call, and then we'll have the well type pricing. So we'll have 3 tiers of flights. So instead of going out and spending $60 for a bottle of name your poison, what Garrison Brothers in the whiskey in Texas, for instance. That's just off the top of my head. We don't have that yet. But instead of going out and spending $60 for a bottle and finding out that you really don't like it,
no, I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah,
no,
you can taste
and get a sample.
Get a sample of it and say, okay, well, I do like that. That is worth $60. I think I will go buy one when I see it at the grocery store.
You find something you really, really like.
Or I might just go ahead and get a drink made with it because they've got it here. So that's look. It looked fun. Yeah.
When you showed it to me, I hadn't seen that before. I mean, and I didn't even know what a flight was. Yeah. I hadn't heard that term before, but I thought that was.
You usually find beer flights. Yeah. So in craft breweries, the people they'll sell beer flights. So they'll put their different types of beer. You can get 4 or 6 beer, and you can taste them, and then you decide which pint you want to buy. So that's generally where you see flights. We'll do wine flights, so we can taste some wines, and figure out what kind of wine, what glass of wine you want. But yeah, having the liquor flight is it's just something that nobody ever does. So it's a service to the community. That way we're saving money, so wasting $60 on a bottle of bourbon you don't like.
Are you doing any local wines from the area?
So we're trying. We haven't actually gotten any in yet. We haven't ruled it out yet. What we did do today, though, is we had a vendor come in and give us like a rundown of the different liquors that we're having and the wines that we have, and he talked about how he educated us on all the bourbons and the scotches and the tequilas and the wines and unfortunately I wasn't able to be there because the man of many hats. I was bouncing all over the place, but I did get a chance to talk to him afterwards, and I said, "Do you do wine tasting and wine pairings, particularly with chocolates?" And he does. So down the road, we should get together and hold something on the mezzanine. We'll get this guy in there, and he can talk about the wine. You can talk about the chocolate, and
I would like it. We definitely would like to do that with you. Yeah, for sure. Got an idea. I just thought of it just now. Because there are some people that don't drink at all. There are non-alcoholic wines. Have you heard of them?
I'll go one step further. There's a brand out there called Spiritless. I've got a couple of bottles of the bourbon and a couple of bottles of tequila.
That are non-alcoholic.
Non-alcoholic.
They're spiritless bourbons and tequila. So we can actually make, I don't know what it's going to taste like, but we can make an old-fashioned with a spiritless bourbon. So those of you that are, that you can't have alcohol because of one reason or another, or you can only limit yourself to one, but you want to come out, or you're a DD and you don't want to, you want to have something in your hand that you're drinking. You can sip on a spiritless margarita.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Innovation. Did I not tell you? I mean, this is innovation. You came up with so many ideas because that's something you think about. Honestly, I'm not a big drinker anymore. At my age, it's not that I'm against it. It's just my age. I mean, one of those people, if I drink, I'm ready to take a nap. It's like I had 2 beers, I'm going to sleep. So yeah, and then also if it was just me and my wife going out, she doesn't like to drive at night,
Sure.
I mean, and more than likely she's going to point to me and go, "You're the driving home." So no, you don't, no, you don't get it. You don't know. I'm having a drink, but you're not. So yeah, I would want to have something other than just a soda.
Sure.
If I'm out, I'm going to want to have something. If I had a glass of, it's not going to taste exactly the same. I've tried some non-alcoholic white. We actually have some in the store that we ordered from Germany, And I tried them. They're not like regular wine, but they're not fruit juice. And I'm like, I could put this in a wine glass and fill and sip on it. It's
absolutely.
It is a sipping drink, And so it would be something I could be out. And it sounds like these liquors would do the same thing. I could have a mixed drink and say, "Hey, can you make a, you have a whole list of flavors I saw."
We do.
Have you created those yourself?
So yes, the elixirs we were there. There was a few on that menu that are just standard, like the kamikaze and which ones were on there?
The lemon drop.
The lemon drop,
which is amazing.
There's a few on there that are Long Island iced tea. We put on there. They're staple drinks that people are going to want to order anyway.
Sure.
But no, we have some that are Doc's elixirs. It's the 2cc stat.
Now, did you try all these when you made them?
Of course.
Of course, you have to, right?
Of course, you should.
That must have been fun.
I think it might have been.
You don't remember.
I don't remember. But, so the 2cc stat is basically it's a Canadian Club sour, but 2cc's stat. Doc's
Canadian Club.
It's a Canadian Club. We have
the vitamin C.
The vitamin C, which has Jameson orange. It's a new flavor of Jameson whiskey.
It's delicious.
And it tastes like vitamin C.
So if I went in, I could look at this list and say, "Hey, can you make this one for me, non-alcoholic?" And you could probably, maybe some of them you could, or maybe not.
I don't know if we can do any of those because
you have to make something else up.
Yeah.
If I wanted a mixed drink,
right? We could do a bourbon and Coke or an old fashioned. Actually, we could do an old fashioned because that has bourbon, and it's straight bourbon. No other alcohol in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there would be some options.
But I gotta tell you, we've hired some innovative bartenders.
Yeah.
They're crafty.
Really?
You know, they've got some recipes for some from spiritless drinks, and some other drinks.
Are they all local, or did you find them here?
All in Cochise County.
All in Cochise County?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
They probably are excited just to be able to work in this place. I bet
they're biting at the bit to start.
Yeah.
We have 9 bartenders, just 9 bartenders on Friday, and then 10 bartenders on Saturday.
Wow.
Bartenders.
Wow. Just bartenders.
Just bartenders.
And then you also have the servers
and the cooks.
Yeah. And you got
and
somebody security at the front door.
Yeah. Well, and inside, because we want everybody to have a safe and fun time,
definitely.
And that's
smart.
really the only way to do it.
That's smart.
And all of our security, we're putting them through Desert Eagle, right here next door.
Yeah.
Desert Eagle Security. They offer a security guard course. Mm-hmm. So we're certified security guards now.
Yeah. So probably a couple of them are Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott, maybe.
Actually, we hired a Marine, former Marine. Her name is Ruth, and she's one of our head security.
Yeah.
I wouldn't cross her.
No.
Yeah. So again, we're supporting veterans.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, it's the wave. I'm
Yeah.
gonna call it the wave. It's just the positive wave, the ripple effect of and what you're doing. It's just a big impact. I mean, I don't know if you guys even realize what an impact you're going to have on this community.
It's going to hit me. It's going to hit me like a tsunami. That wave.
You are. You're going to have a huge impact, a positive impact in this community. And to be honest, we kind of need that. We need that little shot in the arm, and this something special like this to open up. And I just appreciate it a lot. I'm going to talk about it constantly to people. And it's like, if you haven't been to Doc's,
we're good for what else.
Then you're just missing out. I was going to say something else, but I won't say that. I'll say you're just missing out if you haven't been there. Next Friday, their grand opening. You've got to check this place out, and you're going to be a regular. You walk in the door, and you're going to be a regular, and they need that. They need this support. Veteran-owned business, 2 veterans. We got 2 veterans here. They're helping all these other veterans. They're employing people. They're providing a service to the community that we need, a nice place to go out and forget about everything else. Just have a good time and just enjoy yourselves. Get out of the house. Like you said, we were cooped up in the homes too long, I mean, over those 2-year periods. And to get out and just enjoy life. That's what it's about, And you're open
7 days a week. 7 days a week, 11 a.m. We open for lunch. Transition into, and so we are open as a restaurant every day at 11. We transition into the nightclub at 8 p.m. A lot of people have asked if we're going to have teen night or if we're doing something. So instead of having a teen night, bring your families. Come down on a Sunday, have lunch, do some line dancing. We've one of the groups we're talking to, one of the instructors wanted to do a workshop. So they'll be there teaching the 2-step and the waltz and the West Coast swing, and they'll do some line dancing in there too. But they're talking about like a 4-hour workshop. Where they'll teach dance floor etiquette, and that's something fun to do with the kids. Bring them in, and when we're it'll be during the day on the weekend.
Now, what are the hours on Sunday?
Sunday we're open 11 to 11.
11 to 11. Are you switching at that 8 o'clock?
Yes.
Every night.
8 o'clock at every night.
Every night.
Then under 21 has to go.
Okay. We had a play. I graduated from Fresno State. That's where I got my degree. And when I was in college, right across the street from the university was a restaurant. They did the exact same thing. I think they only did it on Friday and Saturday night, if I remember. But yeah, there's a family restaurant. Families would go in, have dinner, whatever. and it'd clock. It would hit a certain hour. I can't remember what it was. It was probably around 8, 9 o'clock.
Yep.
Oh, everything changed. Okay, chairs, tables were getting moved, and boom, you had a nightclub.
Yeah.
They transitioned quickly from a restaurant to a nightclub.
Yep. The house lights turn off. The dance floor lighting system comes on.
Yeah. And you would go sometimes go for bulk. You know, you would go there early, kind of like have a nice meal and kind of chat and quiet and then it's time. It's like, all right, give me a beer. You know.
So I see Kathy had a question.
Okay.
Will you take music requests?
Yes.
Yes.
What's been the biggest surprise to you both while putting this business together?
Ooh.
I'll let you go first.
Oh, Lord. How well we work together. Well, it's not a surprise though.
That answer was a surprise.
That's great.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know if I'm surprised about it or not, but I mean, there's a lot going into this. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things that I've learned. I mean, I know more about an HVAC system and a fire suppression system on a hood in a kitchen than I ever want to know, and I will probably forget it once we pass the inspection. But it's stuff you need to know.
Yeah.
You know, and I say, our manager says, "Are you stressed?" I was like, "No, I'm not stressed." Well, that was until I started looking at the weekly payroll for 40 employees, and I'm like, we're responsible for these 40 employees.
Yeah.
We need to open the doors.
Yes.
You know? So come on, let's get this place open.
Yep.
You know,
So you're supporting them.
Yeah.
You're supporting our 40 employees.
Yeah.
Right? And you're supporting all the people that they're buying stuff from. So you support this business, you're supporting your community. Bottom line.
Yeah.
You're supporting the entire community. And you're supporting veterans.
Yeah.
2 of them. Or more. Because you're helping us too. You know? Yeah. So that was a good question. Both of those questions were good questions. Because I'm going to request some specific music. I'm older, right?
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to ask you for some music from back when.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe the Alabama, you know?
Oh, absolutely. No, that probably would be like a regular. We had somebody ask a question if we were going to, this was on the Facebook page, if we were going to play 90s country. And I'm thinking, well, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, my music goes a little further back than that.
So I grew up around the campfire listening to guitars being strummed and people singing songs that I didn't realize were old classic country songs. You know?
I got to tell you, I think you're going to be. I don't know. I got young children. Well, they're not young. They're growing up. My one son is 25 now, and got a daughter just finished college, and one more at home finishing high school. And I'm quite surprised. The young people listen to everything.
Yeah.
My son listens to everything from country music to classic rock and roll to rap to if it's good, he listens to it.
Yeah.
You know? So back in the day, people kind of stayed in a certain type of music.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just listen to rock and roll.
Right.
Or, I'm just a country, you know. But I find the young people now are much more open.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a good song and they like it, I don't care what, you know.
So we might make a few people upset, but there have been bands that come in and give me their card, and one band came in and asked for the contact information for our entertainment director, so I gave him that card, and then he hands me a card and says, "Well, we cover ZZ Top," and I said, "Well, thank you for coming in, but we play the 2 types of music here, the country and western." And he kind of looked at me and said, "Do you have a fiddle? A banjo?" And he says, "Maybe we can do some twang." And he kind of laughed. And then I gave him some recommendations on where else to go in the area.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So,
yep.
Yeah, it's just we're a country and western dance hall.
Gotcha.
We're going to stick with country and western.
Yep.
So probably all genres of country and western, but
Yeah,
It's
and
realistic.
like I said, I think you're going to find even young people that my son are going to go there.
Yeah.
Because they're open to different kinds of music and just play some good music.
Yeah.
And they'll enjoy themselves, especially the atmosphere.
Yeah.
I can't stress that enough. I mean, I can't stress, it's going to be a pleasant place to be, for the night. It really is. It's just going to enjoy. I can't wait to see what you do with the patio. I got to ask you this. I know it's bad. It's evil. I'm wrong. Well, I'll get through that. But is there going to be smoking on the patio?
Yes. Out on the patio, there'll be a smoking area on the patio.
Thank you.
No smoking inside.
Oh, well, of course.
No e-cigarettes inside or
Yeah.
vapes.
Okay.
But yes, there will be smoking out on the patio.
Okay.
Um,
Because yes, that's I have one
Vice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
I have one vice and that's it. But it is kind of if the people that do smoke, it's important that they can step out with their drink.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You
Yes.
don't want to leave your drink on a table, walk outside,
That's right.
and is anybody messing with my drink? But
Yeah,
you
and
can
then have to go through the process of getting back inside.
right.
I think though we might limit the smoking to at 8:00 you can smoke on the patio
Mhm.
because during the day we have families eating lunch.
Right.
We don't want that smoke to
And
get to the kids.
Yeah, and that wouldn't fit. I agree. That wouldn't fit.
So
It'd be
8:00 maybe. Open it up to the smoking.
You're the boss.
Yeah, out in the patio, away from the rest of people. But you could take your drink out there, have your cigarette, and come right back in.
Sure.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
From a smoker's point of view, and there's a lot of us out there, so I thought I'd bring that up. So there you go, smokers. You can go have a good time. When you need your smoke, walk out on the patio, which is probably going to be pretty nice.
It's going to be very big.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Right now, it's just iron.
Yeah.
Iron
And
beams.
And we're gonna have 3 picnic tables with umbrellas on it, and we're getting 3 cognac barrels. These
barrels.
cognac barrels are huge, and we're getting them from the
Tombstone.
Copperidge,
Copper.
something or other. It's a local business in Tombstone. So we're having those drilled out. And we're putting umbrellas in there. So we'll have 3 of those barrels. We'll have the 3 picnic tables, all with umbrellas. And then there's an old Palo Verde tree that offers some shade, as much shade as a Palo Verde can offer.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, it is blocking the view of the mountains, and the building's blocking the view. But the building provides a little bit more
Shade in the afternoon.
Shade in the afternoon and the evenings. So as we're approaching that 8:00, everything's going to cool down out there in the back. We got a great view of the back of a wonderful garden here at the Warrior Healing Center.
Yes. Yeah.
So-
You literally are almost right
we
behind
walked
you.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is your neighborhood right here.
Yeah.
That the Healing Center. And don't forget, the Warrior Healing Center supporting all of us by providing this network that has brought us together.
Yeah,
and a
absolutely.
lot of other businesses. I would have not met you, if it hadn't been for this network that they've created. And I'm like, now Jessica's a lot better than I am she keeps up on what's going on in town. I'll hear something, I'll say, oh, did you hear about this new business opened up, or this is going on? And she's like, that's old news. Where have you been? But she's a business lady, and she keeps track of what's going on in the community. And I'm bad about that. But since I've been part of this group, I've learned a lot already.
Yeah.
About I didn't know that existed in town, or these other businesses that we've teamed up with. And we're going to have a lot of, they're eventually, hopefully all of them. This is our first show with our first veteran business owners, on here. And we're going to have somebody different every week. And you're going to, again, offer them to be in the screen.
Free advertising on that screen for the week.
For that week that we're going to have them on the show.
Yep.
That's a great benefit. And we've got people lined up for the next 3 weeks already, right?
And
And
JD.
we're not going to. No, we don't. Nope. Nope. Last week I would not announce. I didn't say who was going to be. I said you have to watch the show to find out. That's the key. So you want to know who we got on next week? You're going to have to tune in to find out. But I think we got a number of people that did tune in to find out what we were going to talk about tonight, and we're getting more comments. Any more interesting ones there?
Besides one asking, since you said country and western, does bluegrass fall into that genre?
It does.
Okay.
We're not specifically looking for a bluegrass band, but
if you find a good one,
yeah.
Also another question, you probably already know who said this. Will you have bottled light beer for, well, you know who?
Miller Lite in bottles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mom will have her beer.
Oh, you know who this is. All right. Any more? I mean,
that's it for now.
Okay.
Unless someone tries to slide one in, then it'll just get answered after.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah. So we're all very excited. Anything else you want to add?
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
It's an honor being the first out the gate.
Yep.
It's been a lot of fun. We were gonna have a soft opening tomorrow, but instead we have our inspection.
Yes.
So, God willing, if the creek don't rise, next week we'll have some soft openings. I know the people out there are asking. They've been asking, have you had your soft openings? Are you having them? Because they want invites. Because they want to see it, and we want some input. We want people to come in and tell us, okay, you're doing this wrong, or this took way too long to make this drink, that type of thing. So, we want that input before people go to Google.
Yes, yes. So, I'm glad you said that, because I mean that. I'm gonna elaborate on that, because we've been in business for a while, and we got good support. I mean, good comments, but I have noticed that sometimes you get those negative comments about a certain business in town. And honestly, I'm old school. The first rule is, if you've got an issue with a business, go talk to them.
Talk to them.
Go in there and talk to them, because I'm going to tell you, as a business owner, any business owner will tell you, if you come in to their establishment and talk to them about something, they're going to listen. You're their customer. They're wide open. They're like, okay, what how do you think I could do this better?
Yeah. I know for a fact that the grand opening is going to be hectic. It's just going to be crowded. It's probably going to be there's going to be a lot of people there.
Yeah.
I hope we can get the food out on a reasonable time, but our kitchen hasn't even passed inspection, so my cooks can't practice how to use a French fries. I mean,
so that's all tomorrow. Now, please come. I'm not saying no come.
I don't think there is going to be any soft opening. There's not going to be anything soft about it. It's just going to be boom. You might even have a line out the door waiting to get in. So anything else?
Just the community has just shown us all kinds of love.
Yes.
We've got over 1,000 followers on our Facebook page, and we haven't opened the doors yet.
Wow.
Yeah. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But who's your first customer?
Jeez.
No.
You are.
All right. Me and Jessica are your first customer. Well, so yeah, we're gonna definitely join you on that. And so again, this is name of the business, Docks Watering Hole. And you already explained on the Cool FM about the docks. I don't think
we'll do it again.
Do it again.
So I don't know if you guys picked up or not, but she said there are different brands of drugs, meaning alcohol.
Did I say drugs?
You did. Victoria is a pharmacist.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So we'll break her of that.
We had a alcohol rep come in, and I kept saying a drug rep, but alcohol rep.
So she holds her doctorate in pharmaceutical, and I've got a doctorate in strategic security. So hindsight being what it is, it should have been DOCS apostrophe, not DOC apostrophe S. but the grandma Nazis can shoot me later. So, so it's Doc's watering hole because we're doctors.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and one of our flights will feature Dr. McGillicuddy liquor. There's 4 different flavors of Dr. McGillicuddy. Is it a liqueur? It's moonshine.
It's a liqueur.
It's fun.
I don't think anybody has that one here, but it's very popular up north.
Yeah, back home it's very popular. Back in Maine. So.
You said you had some Mexican beers coming in from Mexico. Didn't you say that earlier?
We got Dos Equis and we got Modelo,
Okay.
both on tap. We are doing some Tombstone brewery beers,
Okay.
so we do have those in cans. I ordered all of them. We got 2 brands, so we're gonna keep trying to order the best.
So two veterans, 2 doctors, innovation, dedication. That's what this couple has. I mean, that's what they're bringing to the table. So grand opening next Friday, August 5th. Give the address.
1959 Frontage Road.
And your neighbors,
Next,
right, left?
We're in between the Pamper Me Suites and the Tax Authority.
Okay.
Across the alley from the Warrior Healing Center.
And you are back a little bit off the road because you got all the parking in the front.
Yes.
So, they got a nice sign out right on the road, but then the building's back a little bit. So
We have to cut a tree down. So we can, we have to cut the tree down.
But you might see the horse out front. We're going to put that out probably tomorrow. So you'll see a nice metal horse.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that'll really stand out.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. The palm trees are staying, aren't they?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got them right and left
Yeah.
in the front. So,
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful place. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be exciting. I think it's going to end up being a center of Sierra Vista, and hopefully a center for Cochise County, like you said. People coming from Benson, from Tombstone, from Bisbee, and be able to come here to Sierra Vista and say, "Wow, they got something special."
Yeah. 2 step on down.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that we're going to wrap that up. We are. We're going to. It's time to wrap it up. And again, this is Cochise Spotlight with the Warrior Healing Center, and we will see you again next week. And thank you for coming to be my
Thank you.
guest.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Robert.
Yep. Okay. See you next week.
Bye,
Say
guys.
bye, Erik.
Bye-bye.
Bye.